if you look at warehouse operators, they are essentially responding to three primary challenges, right? One is increased customer expectations with the rise of e-commerce, which is really fueling hundreds and thousands of orders, which essentially means more orders to be processed and delivered much faster and cheaper. Secondly, all of them battle with labor shortages, right? And you know how labor has been short during, especially during the COVID period, higher transportation costs, and finally reduced predictability of supply chain. With all the supply chains being broken, how do you essentially be able to deliver on time, despite the fact that the logistics and supply chain mechanism is all over the place right now. So, with that context, you can obviously, if you have a small operations, you can still run the operations with pen and paper, right? So if you have, let's say, 50 orders to process, you can run it efficiently with a pen and paper process. But if you have to process hundreds of orders or thousands of orders and hundreds of orders or thousands of orders every hour, 24/7, it's impossible to do with humans alone, right? And that's where the role of technology starts to come in. So technology can help you really automate your workflows for faster turnaround times, better productivity. You get end-to-end visibility of your supply chain almost on a real-time basis. You can use that data which is coming out for analytics, for demand and supply planning. And essentially your workforce planning itself can also be much more efficient. So you're able to forecast your labor demand for peak areas or peak time. You can have better collaboration within your workforce and get better accuracy. Essentially, for the warehouse operator, it essentially means better utilization of his assets and better return of investment for the investments he's made. And essentially, at the end of the day, the warehouse operator is serving is part of a much bigger logistic chain, and his ability to respond to customer needs is essentially what the outcome people are looking for, right? So in that sense, digital warehouse or smart warehouse or whatever term you want to call it, the more technology you imbibe in warehousing as part of the larger scope of supply chain, the better the outcomes will be. We conducted a global study. It's called the Warehousing Vision Study. And that study actually pointed out that a high percentage of warehousing decision makers, right, are very comfortable with integrating new technologies, but really not sure of where to start in the digitization journey, right? Now, at Zebra, we have a consulting model around warehouses called warehouse maturity model, right? Where we look at the digital maturity of a warehouse, right? So we step in and determine what level of digitization you are at, right? And you could be completely undigitized to start off with, right? If you have small operations, you just have a space, and all your processes are at pen and paper. And another logical step would be to introduce scanners or mobile computers, ensure that there is digital identity of all the goods which are coming into your warehouse, which essentially means that you barcode them, right? So the moment you have barcoded your material, you give a digital identity to what you have, all the assets which you have in the warehouse, and then you start on that journey of improving your operations, then ensuring that you start to connect to your workers, then you integrate all the other processes which help you get real-time visibility of your inventory and assets. And then going beyond that would be how you, as I said earlier, how you use that data to get real-time visibility of what is going around with you around you. You sense, you analyze, and then you are able to automatically act upon that data, right? So you have machine learning or AI based tools now which can really help use multiple sets of data, your past performance, your demand forecast, put all that together into really coming out with predictive analysis of how and what actions need to be taken by a warehouse to operate efficiently, right? And there are huge number of technologies now available, right? So barcoding, RFID is one part of it, but the other part pieces are about real automation, right? Including putting the right pieces of software or putting the right piece, and then going all the way to drones and automated robots, which work in tandem with labor to bring in the efficiency which is required. So in that sense, I think while warehousing is one of the key factors in supply chain, right? Which where your ability to respond to your customers can be really redefined, especially in today's on-demand economic context. So yeah, I think you absolutely a great question. Warehousing is definitely one of the most critical pieces of any supply chain, and the more you digitize, the more efficient you can become on your supply chain, and being able to see and sense and act upon various customer various parts of the customer journey. As I said, if you have a small operation, you can very well do with uh, pen and paper processes, right? Why would you want to invest uh, a lot of money on technology? However, with the exponential growth we have seen and the demands on supply chain, especially due to omni-channel, right? I think omni-channel has been the biggest driver for demand for warehousing, right? It's the customer behavior, the huge number of orders, the desire to give real-time visibility to end customers. Whenever you order online, right, you want the ability to track where your order is, right? You punch in your order, you want to know whether the order has been processed, and then once the order has been processed, you want to know whether it has been shipped. If it has been shipped, how long is it going to take for it to be delivered to you? Now, how do you get all this information, right? Uh, this is only possible if you are able to track the movement of goods uh, end to end, right from the stage when you put the order in and to the stage where it got delivered to you. And and hence, digital or smart warehouses, whichever term which you may want to use, uh, have a significant role to play in this, right? Because if you are able to track uh, goods coming into your warehouse, getting they're sorted and picked and packed accurately, the ability of the seller to respond to you as customer needs is is far more refined, right? Uh, so one is clearly it helps serve today's connected customers, and sellers are also trying to integrate online and brick and mortar, right? And how do you do that? So all of that requires integrated systems, right? You can't have an online system or a brick and mortar system working in tandem in omni-channel space without being interconnected. The retailer needs to know where the inventory is, right? To get that information in almost real-time basis, you need to implement warehouse management solutions, right? And once you start to do that, you start to get the efficiency of managing a warehouse much more efficiently. So you can monitor the key performance indicators for a good warehouse. You can increase the capacity of your space utilization within the warehouse, right? Warehouses can be flat, or they can be flat and vertical, right? If you have vertical, then obviously the complication of storing, retrieving, all that becomes much more complicated. But you have automated systems, it can become very, very efficient. So you can convert 2D warehouses into 3D warehouses, right? Then ability for faster and predictive order processing, your ability to ship much faster, almost on real-time basis. And because you are using technology, the chances of doing errors in shipment also reduce dramatically, right? Which means that you will have fewer returns, right? If you're not automated, the chances of making mistakes is very high. But with automation, you can dramatically reduce error in shipment. So the right order, the right material goes to the right customer. And also the reverse logistics becomes even more simpler, right? Because you already have that data digitized with you, right? So if the forward logistics is digitized, ability to manage returns is also far simpler. So all that eventually helps you to give a much higher level of customer service than your competitors, right? And that's the competitive edge which customers are today looking for and what consumers are demanding. I would look at 5G and one more associated technology together, which is Wi-Fi 6, right? Wi-Fi 6 and 5G are, to me, complementary technologies, uh, depending on whether the usage is within the four walls, whether 5G is deployed in the location, because 5G is still in India, a nascent technology, it's not deployed everywhere. But 5G along with Wi-Fi 6, right? They are technologies in my mind uh, which have a huge impact, or going to have a huge impact in connectivity across the warehouses, right? So let's first look at what the advantages of 5G or Wi-Fi 6 are. Essentially, they offer higher speed, they offer a higher bandwidth with a lower latency and better reliability, which essentially translates into better performance, better uptime, and also the ability to connect heavy applications. More and more, you can deploy more and more applications within the warehouse and interconnect software. You can interconnect your warehouse management systems. You can connect your mobile devices. You can also connect your IoT and RFID devices. So you can have a much more complex automation processes running concurrently, almost on 24 bar 7 in a very secure environment, which can be very well managed. And these technologies will help explode uh, the entire ecosystem of automation in warehouses, right? So while we've had significant improvements in bandwidths at even with 4G, but I think Wi-Fi 6 and 5G will again be game changers for the warehousing industry. With the right use of automation, employees can essentially do higher level tasks, right? So instead of doing just base level activities, you can get employees to utilize their times towards customer service, maintenance, doing more operation analysis. And finally, as an outcome, it is faster, better, accurate outcomes, right? And with demand for mobility, sensor-based software, robotic solutions going up, uh, this will continue to have significant impact on uh, improving the efficiency of operations, right? So you can expect increase in worker productivity. You can reduce the need for labor because you're doing more with less. And then finally, at the end of the day, what are businesses looking for? Is looking for visibility into their operations and supply chain, right? And technologies like barcode or if you go a step higher, RFID, while they may seem complicated at first to deploy, but with the right solution portfolio and the right partners, uh, warehouse operators can achieve a very high level of visibility of their assets uh, within and be part of a very tightly integrated supply chain mechanism. And if you drive a little further, uh, I think warehouse automation system bring in efficiency to many operational processes with the application of uh, barcodes, as I mentioned. But going further and going ahead, you include surveyors, sensors, drones, conveyor belts, and which can really help in sorting, picking, palletization of packages can become a very, very quick and fault-free process, right? And a lot of the new age digital warehouses are looking at, mechanized robotic arms. They're looking at automated forklifts uh, with rugged tablets attached to them, and which really help to maximize the space within the warehouse itself, and at the same time make the sorting, retrieval, all those processes much more efficient, right? So essentially, with decreased manual handling of products, which can save a lot on human resources, uh, you can get the same people to higher level tasks like customer service or maintenance or operational analysis to make your warehouses even more efficient.